Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, the second lesson of our intensive course with Seller System and Data Dive. I'm here with Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing fine here in Pasadena. It's a very nice day outside. What about you in New York?
Nice. It's just starting to get cold here right now. So the next few weeks, I think it's gonna I'm gonna have to go into storage and get some of my bigger coats because it's getting
Yeah,
cold.
I see a lot of attendees that are joining us. Feel free to use the chat box and telling us where you are coming from. Let's see. Hello, Ali. Welcome. So we are organizing this 10 lesson course on trends, how to use Alibaba.com, but also how to leverage our new AI tools that we have recently launched on Alibaba.com. The goal is to support all of you to source more efficiently and cost effectively on Alibaba.com. And if you guys don't know Seller System and Data Dive, Anthony, do you want to say something about your companies?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people here probably know Data Dive is our software tool and Seller Systems is our education company. Sourcing is not something that we talk about a lot in the course, but I think there's going to be a lot of improvements to sourcing over the next few months and some of the tools that Alibaba is creating. For those of you who follow on with Data Dive, you know I do office hours 3 times a week, and we've done a few real world case studies of people who are sellers that are actually going out, sourcing products, launching products, and doing exceptionally well. And for the recent real world case studies that we've hired, every single person says the same thing. They really go deep on sourcing. We're talking they're reaching out to multiple suppliers, they're ordering samples from different factories. And I think right now, for the people that don't have the hustle or the drive, there's a big difference between the sellers that are successful, the people who do their due diligence, talk to a lot of different suppliers, and put in the work, and then the people who are on the opposite side of that, where they just don't take the steps that are necessary to get started and they don't go deep enough. And so I think what Alibaba has been putting together and what they're building is not only a platform that helps you get through all of this a little bit quicker, but with some of these new AI tools, I think it's actually going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you and put you in touch with suppliers that are a better fit for what you're looking for, to help you do the vetting of suppliers to see what kind of, basically to find the best possible options. So I'm really excited to dig into this a little bit. I'm excited to take some notes here, and obviously we're super thrilled to be working with Alibaba on this, because it just helps what we're doing with Data Dive and Seller Systems work a lot better if people can source better products faster.
Hey, thanks, Anthony. And I know that you are the customer success director, right?
Handle a lot of different things, and customer success is for sure one of them. All of the training for Data Dive and a lot of the training modules we have in Seller Systems as well.
Yeah, and the goal of this course is to support our clients and data type clients and seller system clients, as I mentioned, to source more efficiently. So for this year, we have 5 lessons. If you miss the first one on October 1st, we have a recording after the webinar. I will send you a follow-up email with my direct email address. So feel free to reach out, and all the lessons will be available soon in our YouTube channel. And also, I think that Data Dive and Seller System will post these recordings. So last week we spoke about AI and we unveiled for the first time our new AI tools on Alibaba.com, but also we unveiled a new platform that Alibaba has just launched. It's a complete new platform with a different URL, and I will talk about this also later on today because during this webinar we will also share some coupons. So if you have never tried to use Alibaba.com and is your first order, we will give you the possibility to use some special coupons. And also we will give you a priority access to our new platform. Is called the AI Sourcing Agent. As I mentioned, is a complete separate platform from Alibaba.com. The difference is that in this new buyer agent, you will find products not only from Alibaba.com and from our Alibaba group suppliers, but all users will find products from other platforms or directly from our suppliers. Today, we will talk about supplier assessment that I know that is very important when it comes to sourcing. First of all, Anthony, what do you expect to learn during this lesson?
So what I'm really hoping to learn is what's the criteria that sellers should be using to identify the supplier. So if I'm selling, let's say, a 4 pack of these glass water cups that I have here, I can look on Alibaba and I see dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of options of people that are selling the product. What's the best strategies that I should be using to reduce that list down out of the people that I find? Who should I be contacting? How deep should I be going into that list? And then the biggest question is, and what I hope to learn is, how do I find out who's going to give me the best quality and the best price? Everyone is talking always about to find the lowest cost option, but sometimes that's not the most important. What other kind of factors should I be looking at to make sure that the quality that I get in and that I put up on Amazon is going to be something that people like and that I can build a brand around and that I can build a relationship with that supplier. So I think that's anything that you're going to cover there. I'm
Okay,
super
let's
excited
try. I
to.
will try to do my best. If any of you wants to know more, feel free to comment, to send a Q&A. We will try to do with our best with Anthony to answer to all your comments and questions. Our goal is the same, Anthony. Our team is in the US. Wants to have buyers that succeed on Alibaba.com. That's why we're partnering with Seller System, with Data Dive, and other platforms to support buyers here in the US, but also abroad to understand how to use our platform and how to leverage on our new tools and old tools and understand the new features of our platform. So if this is your first time that you use Alibaba or you've never placed an order on Alibaba, we have today 2 coupons just for today's attendees. One is $20 off with a minimum order of $21. You can claim it by typing this code in our search bar in Alibaba.com. Very easy. Do not log in, otherwise the system will not recognize the coupon. And we have a second coupon of $30 off with a minimum order of $100. I will send this coupon in the follow-up email. So if you can write them down right now, or I will send it over later on. So today we will talk about supplier assessment that sometimes is difficult to understand on Alibaba.com. And I will give you 8 tips when it comes to assess a buyer, a supplier on Alibaba.com. We will go through the A and V, and I will tell you more what it is, the search bar, the new search bar on Alibaba.com, our filters, our storefront checks, inquiries and RFQ, what you have to do when it comes to supplier assessment, sampling, double checks, and our trade assurance. We have been growing a lot on Alibaba.com. So when it comes to supplier assessment, it becomes quite difficult. We have today 200,000 suppliers. So when you're looking for a product on Alibaba.com, sometimes it becomes very hard. We cover more than 7,600 categories right now. So our supply now comes from 140 countries of origins. I'm from Italy, and when I arrived here in the US last year, I found that a lot of buyers here in the US, they don't know that they can search product on Alibaba.com from Europe, from Southeast Asia, from Turkey, and from Latin America. Last year, I opened the office in Mexico, and now we have thousands of suppliers also from Mexico. So today we are a global platform. So we need standard processes that will allow the supplier assessment and verification in our platform. And how we do this? Our suppliers are our revenue stream because to become a buyer on Alibaba.com, you don't have to pay anything, and we don't take any commission on sales. Our business model is based on memberships from the seller side. So if a supplier wants to open a storefront on Alibaba.com, they need to pay a membership fee. But it's not just like this. We ask the suppliers to authenticate and we verify their business information. So the authentication process is the first step after the payment. We check with local government company registration departments if the company is real, if the company exists. In different countries, we have different certification that company suppliers need to provide. They need to provide a valid ID. If you zoom, there is a nice picture in that ID. Also, the business registration certificate, the article of incorporation, the letter of authorization, if relevant, the operational address, the bank proof, and also the phone number. After they provide all these documents, a third-party agency will verify these documents with local government agencies. After that, we will do a verification process, usually with a legal representative of the company, and our agencies will then approve the supplier on Alibaba.com. So all suppliers on Alibaba.com, they need to pass what we call the ANV, and they need to pass it in 2 weeks. So they will not be able to upload any products on Alibaba.com if they don't pass the business verification. Also, we double check all these documents and the company through our system when they apply for a membership. And I will give you some other insights. When you search for a product or a manufacturer or a regional supply on Alibaba.com, and I will tell you more about these 3 tabs, you will find that suppliers are identified with 3 levels: gold suppliers, verified suppliers, and verified pro. All companies, as I mentioned, need to pass the ANV. So all companies are verified on Alibaba.com. What's the difference between the gold suppliers and the verified supplier pro? It comes to a different verification process. The verified supplier is a supplier that pass also a verification from a third-party inspection company. Here in the US, you're probably familiar with SGS. SGS will verify not only if a company exists and is in business, but will verify, for example, the R&D capacity, the certification that this company have, as posted also on Alibaba.com, and will have to pass a quality control. The verified supplier also will appear as a first search in the first page of the search results on Alibaba.com when it comes when you will look for a product. Also, verified supplier can also have a factory video, a 3D video on their storefront, and also they will, as I mentioned, have a spatial advertising feature. The goal is to create trust between the sellers and buyers on Alibaba.com. The verified pro are companies that not only have been verified by Alibaba, by SGS or TUV in Europe, but they also been in our platform for more than 5 years. So you will find that verified pro are suppliers, manufacturers that have been in our platform. So they will appear in the search result on the top of our of the first page. So, Anthony, what do you think about the verified supplier? Do you think is a good way for a company that is looking for a supply? You said that sometimes it's very difficult to identify who is a manufacturer, who is a trading company. Do you think that this can support?
Yeah, my takeaway from this is that if you're seeing something in the Alibaba platform, it's legit. And then you can use these extra badges and profiles inside of Alibaba to get some more insight on these manufacturers. The thing that I'm going to be curious to find out from here is like there's still dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of options of suppliers for different products. So what's going to be the process to decide which ones should be worked with, or is it just like you look in the profile and you're contacting everyone? I'm sure we're going to cover that a bit today, but it is good to know that anything in the platform is going to be legit.
Yeah, of course, we have a compliance team and also an IPI team. So if it's open to all, so we have an IP platforms open to all companies, even if you're not our clients. If you see anything in our platform that is not legit or maybe have some patent issues, you can use our Alibaba IP protection portal. It's free of charge. We have offices all over the world. They constantly monitor our platform and the products that our supplier posts. We've also have some limitation on the product that companies can sell on Alibaba.com. So every month, or our teams receive what we call the blacklist of products. So some products, due to certifications or to sanctions or to IP protection rules, they will be removed from our platform. I give you an example. A lot of products from Italy are food and beverage products. Today, a US buyers will only see products in the search results that are already FDA approved in compliance with the FDA regulation. So you will not find any food and beverage product from the here in the US that are not FDA approved. And as I mentioned, we have been growing a lot. We have more than 200,000 sellers, suppliers from all over the world. A lot of them now, luckily, from Europe. Our goal is to reach a balance between Asian suppliers and other suppliers from other markets. How to search? We have enhanced our search bar, and many of you don't know that now we have 3 tabs on our search bar. You can search by products, by manufacturer, and regional supplies. In this way, you will understand, for example, if you're dealing with a trading company or if you're dealing with a manufacturer. Sometimes it's better to deal with a trading company or with a retailer rather than a manufacturing company. Here is a video that we launched last month during our in-person event in Las Vegas, Co-Create. I know that Anthony and Seller System and Data Dive team were there and they were exhibiting. We are already gathering all the information and feedbacks from you guys to launch our 3rd edition that will be next year in September in Las Vegas. So this is a video. I want to show it to you because, as I mentioned, especially here in the US, you do not realize that our platform is a global platform. It is not today the platform only to search for products from China and Asia.
We trade global on Alibaba.com.
So sometimes it's better to deal directly with a manufacturer, but sometimes it's better to deal with a trading company. Why? Because sometimes a trading company on Alibaba.com have already trending products, can allow fast delivery, can have competitive prices due to logistic costs, and can also allow low MOQs. To work directly with manufacturers is better for production capacity, especially for OEM, for private label, ODM, for brands. For the R&D capability, for example, if you want to produce your own product and you need a supplier, and for the customization options. So, Anthony, for the second point, what can we tell to our audience today?
The difference between manufacturing and trading company, I
Yeah.
think the big, everyone always wants to work directly with the manufacturer. Sometimes it's not possible. If a trading company has a good relationship already with the manufacturing, sometimes the manufacturer, they don't want to deal with a bunch of individual sellers. You think their business model is they're just trying to move as many units as possible, and they find that the trading company does a really good job of handling their relationships. And so we did an example in our real world case studies a few weeks back. And one of the examples that Sebastian gave, and he has a sourcing company. Obviously, they use Alibaba when they're sourcing. It didn't matter how hard he tried. The trading company, it was who they had to work with, but they were actually able to get better quotes from trading companies than they were from a lot of suppliers. So I think it's more important than anything to know what the difference is. The point that's on the bottom right-hand side here of the low MOQ for the trading company, think if you're a lot of people here might be launching a product for the first time. If you're shooting for a 500 order, 500 unit, 1,000 unit MOQ for your first order, you might not always be able to work with the manufacturer from square one. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. If you can work with the manufacturer, that's ideal. But when you're just starting off, I'd say just know the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's correct. That's why also we have implemented these three tabs in our search bar, so you can immediately understand if is a manufacturer or if it is a regional supply. So filters. This is very important, and we have enhanced our filter features on Alibaba.com. No matter which tabs you use in the search bar, so products, manufacturer, and regional supply, you will enter in the search in the search results. And first of all, you have on top of a search page products, all supplier, verified manufacturers, and regional supplies. As I mentioned, verified manufacturer have been also certified by third-party agencies like SGS. Now you can filter by Alibaba Guaranteed, that is the new product that we have launched with no negotiation with the suppliers, with low MOQs, and usually I will tell later is used for samples. You can also filter by new products, so products that our supplier posted recently on Alibaba.com, and trade assurance, so suppliers that use our trade assurance. One other tip, never take the negotiation and the contract outside the platform. We recommend to use our trade assurance program. Now we have extending the trade assurance to Europe and the majority of Southeast Asia. So you can now purchase, and I'm very proud of it, directly B2B from any European country. And you will be protected by our escrow system, and I will tell you more about it. So also, you can filter the supplier by 1 hour response time. This is important if you want the supply to be delivered fast. Also, there is an option to filter by delivery date. And also, this will allow you to understand if a supplier is responsive, what time will answer, and when you will get the product. Now we have recently, last week, launched merge results. What is merge results by suppliers? Basically, if you use the product tab, you will get a lot of products based on the product you're searching, but many of these products maybe belong to the same supplier. By clicking merge by suppliers, you will get result based on the supplier. So you will be able to browse the catalog of each suppliers and not based by products. One important feature is to the store reviews. Always read the store review, especially if what you're buying is in bulk and has an important value. So always remember to check the reviews and check the score that we have given. Why this is important? You will find that suppliers on Alibaba.com have a star rating system. The star rating system is based on the response time, the store review, and the inventory that the supplier has. So when you will see the star on a supplier page, I recommend also to understand why they have this star rating system, because it's based by a strange formula between the store review, the response time, and the inventory. Product features, you can now filter by product feature. You can filter by country of origin, and also you can understand if this supplier has already exported, for example, here in the US, or if you want your product delivered to Mexico or Canada or other countries, you can understand if this supplier has already an experience in exporting to these countries. As I mentioned, companies can also indicate if they have management certification and product certification. What I recommend here is if you, for example, you're looking for an a specific organic certification or the FDA, I strongly recommend you to double check with a supplier and ask for the company certificate. A lot of suppliers, they post their certificate in the storefront, so you usually are able to understand if their certificate is legit. Otherwise, I recommend you to ask for the certificate. And the reason why is many of these certifications have the same names in different parts of the world. One is CE that I find here. But also you are, since the value probably of your negotiation is high, I strongly recommend to double check all their certification. And now we have also enhanced the filters based on the product. So here you can find some filters based on a search that I did yesterday on a skincare products, but based on what you're looking for, the other filters that you will find on the bottom left of the search page, you will be able also to use these filters. So, Anthony, what do you think about these filters? Can be used? Do you think are used by your clients? Should we enable some of them?
Yeah, this is fantastic. And I actually have another tab up right now. I have some different product ideas that I've been working on, and I'm using some of these filters. I have a question though. So can you explain a little bit more about what the Alibaba Guaranteed is? Like I click on the question mark icon. Is this like pre-vetted suppliers if I'm looking specifically for MOQ? What low MOQs? What would be the application of this filter?
Yeah, we have launched recently, last June, the Alibaba Guaranteed. The Alibaba Guaranteed are usually products that are with no negotiation, with a fixed price, and with low MOQs. why we launched this program. We are not a B2C platform, so the goal is not to sell 2 or 3 pieces of a product, but to support our suppliers to send out samples. So Alibaba will take care of the logistics, will take care of the guaranteed. So if a product is not compliant with what the buyers ask for, can be returned, and also is with no negotiation. So, for example, this feature is used by salon owners if we stay in the beauty industry, because usually every week they want to purchase in a small quantity. And in this way, they can try different products. Is used for samples. You can also use a filter if you're interested in sampling, and I will show later, that is called a paid sample. But these paid sample, usually the logistic costs are quite high. That's why we introduced the Alibaba Guaranteed.
Okay, that was my question is when to use the paid samples versus the Alibaba guaranteed. The other question I had is for the delivery by timeline. Some of these are pretty soon. Like I'm seeing options that are saying delivery by November 2nd.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what's that estimated on? How realistic if something's telling me I can do delivery by November 2nd, is
That's
that likely?
that's realistic. I bought a few things also
Yeah.
for myself to try the Alibaba guarantee and to understand how it works. We have now different warehouses here in the US. So we have implemented together with the Alibaba guarantee product also a warehousing system and new features that will allow our supplier to send these products by the delivery date that is featured in our platform.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah, so now start from preliminary checks. I'm what I have few different examples for you. The first one is from an Italian company because I am Italian. I'm very proud. You probably know this company because it's also sold in many retail stores here in the US. It's called Loacker. The first thing that you have to check if it is a verified supplier. So you will see underneath the company name this logo, verified manufacturer, has been in Alibaba for 1 year. But you probably know that this company is a very famous brand in consumer goods. So you this is a double control that you have to do for how many years has been in the platform. I recommend if is a Chinese suppliers, if more year has been in the platform, better it is usually. Also, you will find the address and the contact information. You will also see who is the third-party agencies that has verified the R&D capacity of this company. Now, another company. This is a trading company, Rosso Fine Food, again from Italy. They have been in Alibaba for 4 years. Is one of our best suppliers from Europe. There is another tab that is profile. We are very different from a B2C storefront. So all our suppliers usually need to post the company overview. They will have selected products, R&D capacity, trade capacity, and business performance. You will see, as I mentioned, the star rating system. There are those 5 diamonds, stars on the bottom right of the screen. This is the top level. We have 5 levels on Alibaba.com from the supplier side. So this is a supplier that answers in less than 1 hour and an R&D capacity and has been in our platform for 4 years. Another tip that I want to give you is on the products. When you go to selected products, when it comes especially to trading company, I strongly recommend you to search for suppliers that have at least products in the same category. We have supplier trading companies that operate in many categories. Usually, these companies don't have the best price for you. So usually what I recommend also is to check the selected products. This will give you an advantage and will save a lot of times. You will check also that all companies put the company contact information. As I mentioned, you can negotiate the contract directly with the suppliers. You don't need to use our inquiry and our RFQ, but I strongly recommend you to do so. And when it comes to the contract and to finalize the payment, always use our trade assurance. This is the only way we can guarantee, thanks to our escrow system, that your contract, the products, and the payment is in line with the contract that you have negotiated with a supplier. One tip, I usually check the name of the person that is here in the contact info on our platform, on our social media platform. I check the website of the company, and I check the business address. So I do a Google Map search of the business address. In this way, you will also understand if you're dealing with a trading company or with a manufacturer. So these are also some tips that I usually give for company when it comes to the storefront. So from the verified suppliers to the product category to the contact information, and always check the profiles, the R&D capacity, the star rating system, and check the business address and the contact person in our social media. So these are a few tips. Anthony, do you want to add anything more on this point?
I think on this section I'm good. Yeah, we can keep going. I'm following along on my own though. This is
Okay. Okay, good. I wanted to give some example of what we call GGS or global suppliers, because as I mentioned, we have introduced our trade assurance. So you can buy now directly using our trade assurance on Alibaba.com. And as I mentioned, these are, we don't take any commission on sales. So the trade assurance, as you will see, the payment system will have we have negotiated with the major credit cards and with our payment methods very low percentages that they take. And now we go to inquiries, sampling, double checks, and trade assurance. And I already covered a few of them. So when it comes to RFQ and inquiries, what's the main difference? We call it passive way and active way. The active way is that you contact directly each supplier, you get the quotation. I remind that you can use our smart assistant. Our communication tool is translated in 19 languages thanks to AI. So you will have to deal directly with each supplier. The smart assistant will also summarize the conversation for you, so it will be easy for you to recap the different chats that you will have on My Alibaba. The RFQ is our request for quotation marketplace. Now, thanks to our AI, our smart assistant on Alibaba.com, you can customize and generate requests for quotation. Basically, if you're looking for a specific product with specific MOQs, the delivery time, you can ask Smart Assistant to generate an RFQ for you. You can also add images of what you are looking to purchase on Alibaba.com. Different suppliers will answer to the request for quotation. You can also you can indicate a limit of quotation that you can receive by number or by time, and different suppliers will answer you. Today, with our smart assistant, the smart assistant will compare the different quotation that you received and will tell you based on the different data that and criteria that you have inserted in the RFQ, will tell you which one is the best one. the goal is to save you money, to save you time, and to make it easy for you to use our platform. You can also ask our smart assistant about certification and about the delivery time. So these are the two ways you can get in touch with a supplier. This has nothing to do with a trade assurance. So if you want to communicate directly with a supplier through WhatsApp or through other platform, you can do so. But when it comes to the contract and the payment, I remind that trade assurance is not an insurance. That's why the way you communicate with the buyer is not relevant for us, but is relevant the contract and payment that you will place on Alibaba.com. We have already told about the difference between Alibaba Guaranteed and the paid samples. You can fill by paid sample, basically the suppliers that will send you samples. And the Alibaba Guaranteed. Alibaba Guaranteed is easy to use. I recommend if you have never tried Alibaba.com, today we had these two special coupons. So you can try Alibaba Guaranteed and our other orders on Alibaba.com. Alibaba Guaranteed is on-time delivery, money-back guaranteed, and no negotiation with fixed prices. Double checks everything that we're doing, all the tools that we are implementing on Alibaba.com. Their goal is to create trust between the sellers and the buyers. So always check the verification that the company has, the competency with our new star rating system, check the platform management as a storefront, and always fulfill using our trade assurance. That is not insurance. I remind you every time. Our trade assurance really protects you and now is open to not only from for Asian countries, but also we have introduced in starting from September in many European countries and in South Korea, Mexico, and Vietnam. The goal, as I mentioned, is to make it easy with safe payments, including shipping and logistics services. You will have different options. So you will enter the logistic marketplace, and I know that we have one lesson next week where we will deep dive on how to use our logistics services. You will be able to send a buyer comments, so other buyers when we will pay and we will deal with these suppliers, they will receive your comments, and you will have after sale protection thanks to our escrow transaction. I remind you that it's not an insurance, it's an extra transaction. So basically, there is a way for Alibaba.com to ensure that your payment will be received by the suppliers only when you will be satisfied and when the product will be delivered to your warehouse. So these are the main tools that Trade Assurance gives. So pre-sales, on sale, and after sales. So these are the 8 tips that we wanted to share with you for the supplier assessment. Anthony, did I miss anything?
So I'm not sure if we're going to cover this in future sessions, but are we going to show a little of what the process looks like to go and do this end to end or using AI Supplier?
We will have a different session, one session, and in each session we will deep dive on a tool. So, for example, the logistic marketplace, the trade assurance marketplace, we will deep dive on trends and new products and Alibaba Guaranteed, how it works, and what can be bought on Alibaba Guaranteed. So for each one of them we will have different lessons, and also we will make some example on how to use our smart assistant to use and benefit of all these tools.
Okay, got it. So I think practically right now for everyone watching, you have an idea for a product, just go to the Alibaba platform, start using some of the filters that you walked us through today, and just start reaching out to suppliers, right? And so is the best way to do that inside of the website, just using the chat now button and just start talking with suppliers directly, send over your requirements, and is that the best way to get started?
Or the RFQ. I recommend to use the RFQ to start. Start to understand if your product that you're searching for is on Alibaba.com, and then post an RFQ in our RFQ marketplace. One tip that I missed is to pass the business verification. We have 4 levels of buyers. If you go on Alibaba.com, and we will deep dive on this, I think on lesson 5, we have 5 level of buyers. If you register with your Gmail, Hotmail, iCloud, you will not be able to access a lot of benefits on Alibaba.com. For example, will have to pay taxes on what if you are reselling. If you're an online reseller, you will have to pay taxes here in the US. Also, we are partnering with CPA that will support you to insert your tax certificate on Alibaba.com, not to pay taxes. You need to register as a business owner and pass the business verification process. By level 1 to level 4, you will receive special coupons, benefits, and if you will reach level 4 buyer, you will get also 1.5% money back on every purchase you will do on Alibaba.com. So a recommendation that many of these tools are thought, and we invented this tool for professional buyers, for companies, not for individuals. So I strongly recommend you to pass the business verification process and do not use your personal email when it comes to B2B e-commerce.
What do you recommend? So I'm looking at the RFQ portion of the website. What do you recommend for the sourcing documents to include?
You can ask the Smart Assistant. If you go to the chat box and open the Smart Assistant, you will be able to ask the Smart Assistant to generate the RFQ for you. What I also recommend is to use ChatGPT or other AI generative tools. Also, if you have already an idea based on the data that, for example, the data dive can provide to a suppliers, you can use all the data and knowledge that Data Dive can give you to create the RFQ. When you have the RFQ, you can also ask the RFQ to generate the Smart Assistant to generate images for you. During lesson 1, we deep dive on how to do that, thanks to our Smart Assistant. So you can attach AI generated images based on your product idea and on your RFQ. Then the RFQ will be sent out to we will be posted in our RFQ marketplace, and different suppliers will answer to the RFQ.
Okay, got it. What would you say to the people who might be a little bit nervous? They've got an idea for a product, they can see that there's demand on Amazon, and they know that they're going to make some customizations, like to the brand, to the product, but they're nervous about using this RFQ feature because they're worried that suppliers, manufacturers are just going to take the ideas and then go produce the things themselves. Can you speak to that a little bit? I know it doesn't happen as often as people think it does, but I think that's a concern that some people might have.
Yeah, first of all, there are more than 20,000 requests for quotation per day on Alibaba.com. So it's very difficult if I never heard about a product idea with a general specification. For example, I used to work for in the beauty industry. So when I also one advice is to check the RFQs. You will see the RFQ they don't go into specific details. This is a way for you to have a preliminary check of the best suppliers. Then when it comes to patent, mold, ingredients formulation, certification, that you will have to sign an NDA, depends on the contract value with the supplier. But this is a tool that really expedite your search of the best supplier on Alibaba.com.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the RFQ because now suppliers are coming to you, right? So instead of reaching out to everyone, it seems like a smart way to go about it.
Yeah, and also you can generate, as I showed the last time, your product images idea and so on. So it really is I think the best way. Also, as I mentioned, if you first order on Alibaba, $20 off on a minimum purchase of 21 for global buyers, not only in the US. Just type this code in our search bar. You will receive these codes after the webinar. We are almost there. I see that there are some questions on how, yeah, you can, we will have a playlist on our YouTube channel that is Alibaba Buyer Central, and I will post the link I will write down the link in the email that I will send out after the webinar. AI Sourcing Agent, just a sneak preview for all of you. This is a new platform from Alibaba.com. It's the first AI-powered conversational tool. The data that this platform will provide are data not only from Alibaba, but from other platforms. We are partnering with major B2B marketplaces across the globe. Just to name few, EC21 in South Korea, 5 to Fashion in India, Trade Key in Pakistan, Build Direct here in the UX, and we are extending our partnership base. Also, the AI sourcing agent has already data, all public available data in the web. So it will suggest when it comes to sourcing products that are not only from Alibaba.com, but from other platforms, and can support you with inspiration. We'll compare products on different platforms. We'll compare these products and we'll tell you which one is the best one based on your criteria, and we'll automate their workflow. So with some platform like Alibaba.com, you will be able to purchase directly the product that you have searched in our search agent directly through our platform. The platform will be unveiled in 1 month on November 11 during an important event that we will sponsor as Alibaba, that is the Web Summit in Lisbon. You can try, because you are a data dive and seller system client, you can try the beta version of the buyer agent free of charge, and you will be one of the first ones that are trying this amazing tool. Last time we had a presentation, so when the video will be available, I recommend you to go through what this AI buyer agent can do. Scan the QR code. One thing, this is a waiting list. We will give access to the buyer agent only to business emails. So or Gmail, iCloud, Yahoo emails, AOL emails, they will not pass the waiting list. If you want to try our new AI by sourcing agent, this is a chance, and feel free to send us the feedback. So we are